Vinyl Please is their web store is opening this Tuesday. Some of this stuff is in there, and that's where it is I'm going to get my stories from. Okay, first off was, I think this is probably completely sold out, the new Father John Misty. Real nice packaging. Okay, it's got this plastic thing. Good, bad, and ugly, right? See this plastic thing? Really nice. Can I tell you what happens to these plastic things from experience? They crack. They turn to shit. So all of a sudden you got a museum piece that you got to handle with kid gloves. It looks beautiful, but not very utilitarian. Beautiful covers, right? It's got this sleeve over here where you put the thing in, and right? It's got a nice poster. It's got actually gorgeous looking records. Did I bring those? I didn't bring them. We jam a Connell, man. So yeah, the records are absolute. Oh, that's because the records are inside. Yeah, I'm going to show you what the records look like, because they're awesome. As my cat Anthrax is chewing his crotch right behind this camera. Check this, dudes. Is that freaking insane, right? Looks nice. Okay, so yeah, that's product, right? Product's a little too fancy for me. I mean, it's nice, but honestly, when you just want to listen to the music, sometimes it's a fucking problem. The music itself, how can I say? Okay, look, Father John Misty. I guess I should carry the album or something. What should I do? What do the professionals do? What does Anthony Fantano do? How does he handle this? So yeah, right? I didn't want to like this guy. Fact, it's just, he looks like he tries too hard. The whole fucking hipster beard and his fucking mannerisms. He's so affected, you know. And then you remove his hipster beard and he's got the fucking ironic mustache and he's got the fucking movements and shit. And people tell me this guy, oh, he's amazing live. Now, I haven't seen him live, so I can't talk. All I can say is that, you know, I've watched one of those over-under things, and I've seen him live, and I don't think I want to see him live. It's just, the pretense feels strong, and it would be really funny if I spoke to him and that would come up, but, you know, there's my friend Emily, who's told me that, you know, she suggested that the whole thing is a put-on. In which case, if it's a put-on, Father John Misty, you're amazing. Okay? So the fact is, no, to me, the whole thing, it looks like it's just a fucking hipster douchebag. All right? Then you drop the needle on the record. Now, Father John Misty was former VMP Album of the Month, so they brought it, and I heard the Beatles thing, and I liked it, and then the songs really began getting to me, and I realized, as a matter of fact, if you do a search in the forum, you'll see I did do an early review of the Father John Misty. The songs just kept coming back, and I realized his wordplay, his instrumentation, is like, okay, well, fuck, ultimately I'm listening with my ears, not my eyes, and it was just awesome. So I took the music and I used the download codes to put it on a key. What it is that we did all that summer, my daughter and I, is we'd go get an ice cream together, just so that we can kind of chill out, right? So we'd always have that music, and of course there's one song in the Father John Misty thing that's Honey Bear. No, is that the one? Oh no, and the Malapops make me wanna fucking scream, right? That part. Now she's what, 2 years old at that point, so it's like, it's the first time that she's hearing these swear words, and I'm kind of laughing at it, because it's like, you know, I won't expose her to hip-hop, or, you know, she's not ready for NWA. I'm not sure any of us are, as good as it is, but, you know, so she always, there was always that connection, and we'd play the album every time we'd go for ice cream. And we'd play the album poolside, and my wife was there, and when my loved ones would come, it was part of the mixtape. It was there. It soundtracked an amazing summer, okay? Then this came along, and same thing, man. You listen to it. I'm not going to tell you. The guy's got magic in his pen. It's a pretty special artist. I'm still not convinced I want to see it live because of the rest. I don't need to see it, maybe. Or maybe I'm just wrong. But, man, I can't argue with the music. It's gorgeous. It's, his lyrics are detailed. It's not like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, the Beatles are amazing. But you know what I'm saying? It's not like beat on the brat with a baseball bat. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. He's like going into these pretty full sentences and somehow putting it and working it within a beautiful melody and making it all come out sounding nice with strings in the back and piano. And it's like, dude, man, if you're the one putting this all together, it's like, hats off, man. This is amazing. So I'm listening to this and I realize I'm going to be listening to this all summer. All summer. As a matter of fact, it's become part of the family thing because it's one of the first albums where it's like, I've already told my daughter, hey, dude, guess what? I got the new Father John Misty record, so I'm going to put it on the mixtape. We're going to listen to it. So she already knows it's the first time that my daughter and I are doing the follow-up album thing, you know? So yeah, very cool. That's why this rocks for me. I need a drink. What's next? Funkadelic. Funkadelic. This is in their member store also. This record is freaking amazing. It's actually Tidal Waves Music are also sponsors of ours. They're the ones who put it out. They're the ones who also put out all those Link Ray records from the 70s that are uber hard to find. They just re-released them. Good label. So, this is in the member store, and you want this record. It's a double LP. It was taken direct from the soundboard in 1971. Okay? And, I mean, for those of you who know the history of, you know, Parliament Funkadelic, you know that they got fucked every which way, right? They didn't get paid, and their manager was shady, and so forth. So the manager recorded this thing with the idea that, hey, I'm going to put the entire thing out. It didn't come out, and then eventually it came out on CD. Now, and it came out actually, I think, in the 90s on vinyl, but still, this is something that I've had in one form, not like on bootleg. I've had it since 97, maybe. And I have the concert on VHS tape because I was a maniac for fucking especially Sly and the Family Stone and P-Funk. Just, I could not get enough. I got it all of it. So, I had this because bootlegs, it's like getting it on records. I wasn't collecting vinyl at that point. I was full on into CDs, and it's like it wasn't available on CD. So, I had the concert on VHS tape, and finally I got the thing on vinyl. 20 years after the fact, but same fucking thing. The deal with this record, okay, recorded in 71, two of their members disappeared. One of the guitarists had trouble with drugs, right? So acid, LSD was really fucking him up. He had to leave the band. So he gets replaced. By the way, it's not Eddie Hazel. Eddie Hazel is all over this record, man. So, guitarist gone. The drummer disappears too. So who do they replace him by? Fucking Tyrone Lamkin, who was the house drummer for the Apollo Theater. Hardcore fucking, you know, R&B type drummer, real tight. The thing is, he plays nothing like the guy before, whose name I completely forgot, but it's not in my notes, so again, I fucked up, but I do know the drummer's name. I couldn't memorize it by heart. But yeah, the other drummer was way more kind of like Acid, two completely different styles. Okay, they hadn't rehearsed at this point, so it was only a couple of shows in. They didn't even know they were being recorded. And you could hear the stops and starts, and yeah, Tiki Fullwood's the name of the drummer. You know, and you can see the kind of like they're trying to figure it all out. And at one point, George Clinton even says, "We got a new drummer here tonight, Tyrone. We're going to get it together anyhow. And we're going to pee on your afro." You know? So they kind of like still make it a pretty funky moment. Bernie Worrell really keeps the whole thing together. Just the organ really just ties the thing together, and because, well, Burning World is a genius, and Eddie Hazel is all over it. So yeah, in terms of musically, they hadn't found their stride yet, but it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Unless it's going to be your first Funkadelic record, then maybe it's not phenomenal. I don't know. Nick Cave, the Boatman's Call. That's the next one. This is the giveaway prize, right? This is my first Nick Cave vinyl. Ironically, I've seen the guy live. I used to have Murder Ballads on CD, and I've heard him on PJ Harvey stuff. That's the extent of my knowledge. It's just, you can't buy everything, and it's just one of those artists that got away. But I always knew his catalog is good. Finally, I got it. And of course, I dropped the needle, and it's phenomenal. You don't need me to talk about that. VMP exclusive pressing. I don't know how many copies. 1,500 maybe. I don't know how many copies they pressed of this, but quality wax. 2 of you are getting on this. Make comments good, Q&A, whatever. We'll find winners. 2 copies, okay? Amazing record. It's available. And finally, no, there's 2. This guy needs to come out. Dudes. Selda. This record here you need. I guess she's, what? Folk? She's folk if there's fuzzed out guitars and just fucking crazy psychedelics happening in the background. And she's got one of these crazy voices that makes this, it's the record where, like, if you invite conservative house guests over, you know, the kind you make salad for, it's not a knock on vegetarians, I'm cool with salad, but you'll freak them out, man. It's weird. As a matter of fact, if you want a jumping off point, Erkin Koray, who's been described as the Jimi Hendrix of Turkey, listen to it and you'll know why. That's very much a jumping off point in terms of sound. These are both Turkish artists that I've seen this thing in this record store, Au 33 Tour, the store I go to, so many times. I've picked up and put it down so many times. So they sent it to me, and I'm well chuffed because jump all over it. It's amazing. Oh, and Finders Keepers, good label, quality stuff. So you're not fucking around. I can't really talk much about Fiona Apple because it wasn't in my wheelhouse. This is actually the first time I've heard the album. I recognized the singles. I liked them. After listening to the whole thing, I realized that she's got a bluesy thing. Cool, but I'm no expert, right? But I know some of you love it. This is what it looks like, man. The vinyl is simple black vinyl, but cool. Last one. They have this for sale. This is not from the web store. This is Light in the Attic. One complaint that I've always had with Vinyl Me Please with their web store is that they don't give you any information on who presses the records, and that's hugely important because it makes a difference, right? This is a Light in the Attic release. Light in the Attic is something I'll buy without a problem because they deliver consistent quality. It's my favorite label. I love it. Okay?